This video and others like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. Please show your support with a like and subscribe, and be sure to hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss any new videos. If you want to get involved with the channel, consider becoming a channel member. There are many benefits to channel membership, including access to our Discord, exclusive deck tech and strategy videos, and the opportunity to help create channel content. I want to sincerely thank all our channel members, as I truly couldn't do this without your support. You guys rock. Go Commando.
Alright, this is Dean with Dice Commando, and I have built a Star Wars Destiny draft cube with the Dicey Companion Kit, and since I went through the process of building it, I thought I would share the whole process with you, and if people want to do similar things, they can feel free to do so. So first we have storage. So I have one of the old Feldherr, two-deck holding things here, and I'm using this to hold my two draft kits, my Dicey Companions kits. So I have enough for two people, and the draft kits are in here. Scum of Destiny sent me a nice little box, so here they all are. So I got two, so two people can draft. Jam those in there, and then underneath is another mat that could, the person could build their deck, stick it in this, and then you can play. So that covers that portion, and then the cube part I have come up with. So I have 3 sets that I have copies of, and that is, I have Faltering Allegiances, I have Resurgence, the most recent set, and I have Unlikely Heroes. So 3 random, to some degree, sets. And what I've done is I've gone through each of those sets, and I got one of every character, because a lot of them come printed that way. I mean, you could have 2 if that's the way you printed them, but a lot of them, when you get them printed, you get 1 character card and 2 dice, so I'm just going to draft it that way. So 1 of each character. There's a couple I pulled out that don't draft well, or they bring a whole bunch of extra stuff. I did have some of the extra things, and I'll show you that. But so I have all the characters, and I've separated the characters from the upgrades. And if you get things like this, like a fun promo, then why not add that into my draft box? So this is my collection of characters to draw from. And I think when I do a draft cube, I'm going to do a thing where you'll draft 3 characters and 5 dice cards. I think that will give us a healthy mix. Now for these, I have 1 of each for pretty much all of these, except there's a handful that I have 2 of. If they're fairly universal, and to make it so that I had the same amount of dice cards for yellow, blue, and red. So I found that like red was lacking, so I have 2 of Imperial Rule and Commander, and a couple kind of like, you don't have any crazy spot requirement stuff to use them. I added an extra DL18, Z95, things like that are fairly versatile for a draft format. So these are all my dice cards from those 3 sets. Those are all my characters. And then this one here is all of your events. So you have quite a bit more, but I have enough here that I could support a handful of people drafting. I could probably have a group of 4 or something draft. I will warn you that you need to get the extras. Like, for example, if you have going somewhere solo, you need to go and find a Greedo and a Han Solo and set them aside in your draft cube, or you have to take this card out. Because I didn't have that Han Solo or Greedo like in a Smash kit or something like that, so I grabbed him and I threw him in there. And some things like that are fun. I didn't have a lot of use for like all my X-Wings, so since I added Akbar in as like a drafting possibility, I put all my X-Wings in my kit. Now for events, you don't have to go singleton. You could. I go singleton for battlefields, plots, unique diceless characters, and I also went singleton on some events that are like very specific, like spot a certain number of engineers. There's 1 card for that. So like, I don't know if you want 2 copies of that in the draft, support it if you get an engineer. I'll have 1 in there. But there's a couple of those where I did go to singleton just to kind of improve your odds when you're building a deck, but that's entirely up to you. If you have things like fun Scum and Destiny promos that you just want to like slide in your draft kit, it's your tabletop fun. You can do whatever you want. And let me get into the dice storage. So, I have one of those classic felled hair storage things, and I was able to get all of them into one. I will, so up here I have like some extra cards, like if there's referencing for a card that maybe something brings in, I threw those in there. But here's all the yellow characters, here's your red characters flowing on through. This is I actually didn't get a printing, so I have that promo Akbar. So I got the promo from Laser Gaming, their promo stickers, and I just built an Akbar die so that I have that ready. You can see some of my set-asides. There's my Greedo, my Han Solo. Diplomatic Immunity is a card that references those, that brings those in. So I have them jammed in. It's kind of a little dead spot. Here we have all the red dice. You can see usually I got about 3.5 rows for the different colors. Gray I squeezed in here. Blue, you can see, roughly 3.5 worth of that, and then for yellow, same thing, roughly 3.5, and then more of the set aside stuff, the cards that reference like rolling into Clone Trooper, Rebel Engineer. I got a ton of X-Wings. I just jammed those in at the bottom. So I built this kind of, one, using all the sets that I have for diversity, and then like I said, trying to go for balance. Obviously I have empty slots, so if I wanted to add in more things to smooth out a draft, I could. And I'm going to do some tests like after drafting this. So like if you look at the characters, there's not a ton that are cheap. I think if you were to, I'll have to see how consistently you're getting your Droidekas and your Bibs and some of the cheaper Death Watch Mandalorian, some of those guys, Republican Senator, just to make sometimes it's easier to make 30-point decks when you can get some of the lower costed heroes. And if I find like I'm always getting higher costed ones and stuff like that, and it's making it harder to build, then I might supplement by adding like 1 or 2 extras of some of like the non-uniques. So maybe there will be 2 Droidekas that you can pull from, things like that, just to kind of smooth out the drafting experience a little bit, since I'm making a custom cube. So those are my first thoughts from the kit, is that might be my next tweak, since I have a little bit of extra space in here, identifying maybe some characters that I could add in that would make this a little bit better to draft. So maybe I'll follow up at some point and show you guys, let you know how the draft has gone. But this is my now fully constructed draft cube, and maybe I'll get to bring this and play it with all the crew at Gen Con or some local event, maybe make it up to Silver Sun, and get in some ARH drafting nonsense. So thanks for following through the video. Good luck if you want to make something similar for yourself, if you have some printed ARH product. If not, you can play for free on TTS. And as always, go Commando.